Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope we had a great day. Thank you for joining us for this midweek edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. And tonight we'll be looking at a topic, work-life harmony, strategies for maintaining balance. Our facilitator for tonight is one of our very own, and she's a regular facilitator on HR mentorship. I love her spirit and her willingness and eagerness to share knowledge from time to time. She is no other person than Irene Obagu. However, notwithstanding, I would still like to read a bit about her for the benefit of those who may just be getting to know her for the first time today or through this particular webinar. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she has worked in a couple of places, but before I mention that, I'd like to say she has a Bachelor of Education in Guidance and Counseling from the University of Ibadan, and she also has a Master's of Personnel Psychology from the same University of Ibadan. She has worked in quite a number of places. I'll mention just some. She started out as an insurance operations executive with Capital Trust Insurance Broker, and then she moved to become human resource advisor with Capital Trust Group. Subsequently, she held the role of corporate services and administration in Capital Trust Group, then became the HR admin manager with Cloud Flex Computing Services Limited. Okay, she has been a freelance HR consultant with Novelty Multi-Services for over 8 years. Ladies and gentlemen, she has well over 10 years experience, and she has been doing justice, providing different services within the entire HR value chain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited, delighted, eager to hand over full control of proceedings to our facilitator for tonight, Irene Obagu, teaching us on work-life harmony, strategies for maintaining balance. You have the floor, my sister.
Thank you very much for the introduction, sir. Thanks, sir. Good evening, everyone. As usual, it's a pleasure to be sharing the evening with you. I'm always happy to do this. How are you today? Like I like to start, I like to know how we are feeling. Just let me see your emojis. How do you feel right now? How was your day? How is Nigeria Glasgow treating us? So it would be nice to just see some reactions. Ogundalu, yeah, thank you. Ah, Susie, yeah, you just have to stay happy, no matter what. Oh, sorry about that. You look tired. Wow, Deborah, yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so without much ado, let's jump into this because this is 8 o'clock so that we can wrap up fast. Yes, Mohammed Lawan, yeah, it's good to smile. Smile is good for your health. Okay, so thank you once again for spending your evening with me. As the topic has said, um, today we're looking at work-life harmony, strategies for maintaining balance. I know we're used to work-life balance, and I'm sure a couple of people will be like, which one is work-life harmony again? So that's what we are going to look at this evening. We want to look at what work-life harmony is, because like we keep changing, giving work-life different kind of name. You know, before pandemic, we're talking about work-life balance, and now we're in work-life, different work-life, different work-life. So without wasting much of our time, I'm going to go into the presentation now. Okay, so for this presentation, we're looking at, like I have the overview so that we have an idea of what we're going to be looking at. So from the introduction to the history of work-life balance, you know, I did mention that before now, what we used to hear was work-life balance. I remember in 2013, when I worked on my master's project, I actually worked on work-life balance. Like I've always been an advocate of work-life balance, but we can't separate both. Our life and work must exist together. So we're going to look at the history, how did it even start? Then what is quality of work life? Then why does work-life balance and work-life integration, why is it not working? Because now I'm talking about work-life harmony. What happened to work-life balance? We're going to look at that. We're going to look at a few statistics. Then we now delve into what exactly is work-life harmony, work-life balance versus work-life integration, and work-life harmony. What are the differences in those three? Because those are the kind of those are the terms in work-life that exist, then the benefit and how to foster this work-life uh, harmony that we're talking about. So that takes me to my introduction. Like I did mention, pre-COVID, we were making noise about work-life balance, work-life balance. So a background to work-life harmony, actually. The last few years has created challenges, which range from remote work, social isolation, quiet quitting, the great resignation, all these things that fuel stress, disengagement, burnout. They basically lead to workplace issues such as absenteeism, health issues, a decrease in productivity, and more. These were the things we were talking about before COVID, before the pandemic came. And pandemic came, before pandemic, we're talking about the future of work. And before we knew it, pandemic brought the now of work upon us. So with all these things that came up, we started looking for how to manage work and life. So currently, as of today, the lines between work and personal life is very blurred, you know, like never before. Most times, even when you have left your 9 to 5, it's almost like you have not left work, which is the truth. So let's face it, we keep talking about work-life balance. The truth is, the traditional work-life balance is not working. So that led to work-life integration. That okay, if I cannot balance work and life, I should be able to integrate work into life so that everything goes together. But it still didn't work for the modern day work, you know. So like I did mention before, the pandemic accelerated all these issues, and there's so much pressure on us. Up until now, the landscape of work has changed due to the pandemic, whether we want to agree or not. We now sort of sit back and want to think of what we are doing. So we ask ourselves questions like, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Do I want to live my life this way? You just look at your life, you look at how you work, and you're asking yourself some questions. Do you want to continue like this and all that? So basically, that's what we're going to be looking at in this webinar. We want to look at evolution of the relationship between work and life, what work-life harmony is, and ways to harmonize work and life for our organization. So a brief history, like I did mention, the concept of work-life balance dates back to 1970s. It was a time where baby boomers were stressed out, and everybody is stressed out with work. So want to see, okay, this work that's stressing me, how do I even manage it? So that's where the old concept of work-life balance started coming from, you know. So, and that's fast forward to the last 30 years, according to research, there's been growth with the knowledge of workers and, end to grave kind of employment, because we just seem to work like, even when you have retired, you're still working, because when some of us retire, we're going to consulting. Even when we don't retire, even when we retire, either we start selling. You just want to earn a living. So it's more like we work from cradle to grave. So since the world has changed, we don't leave our work in the office. The notion of work-life balance has actually become obsolete, because the reality is work-life balance gave us the impression that you must be able to balance work and balance uh, life. So you do 9 to 5. If you're closed at 5, work is done. Then you are going to face home. But the truth of the matter is, the way work is now, there are times you can't, it doesn't work like that. That puts pressure on us. Unlike baby boomers who tried and they failed, to strike a balance. Because the reality is there is no balance. You just have to find out the two coexist. You cannot say, oh, okay, I want to go to work 9 to 5. And once I close, any other thing that comes up. We used to do that, but that puts a lot of pressure, because you are pressured. Even when you resume work, you have to start dealing with relationship management, either with your boss and all that. So Gen X began to focus on work-life integration, because technology, like I said, has blurred the line between work and life. Even when you have closed from work, we have WhatsApp group from the office, we have Slack groups, we have different kind of groups that pandemic has brought. You just cannot ignore those groups. You follow up. So even when you say you are closed, like technology sort of has not let you close. So the Gen X started looking at, okay, baby boomers were the one that were struggling, that thought, oh, work-life balance will solve the issue. Then the Gen X came and like, okay, since we cannot have work-life balance, let's do work-life integration. Let's integrate work into life. You know, again, that's still didn't solve the problem. So instead of balancing the responsibilities of personal and professional roles, the concept of integration, place a heavy focus on time management. You want to do everything. We're always multitasking because in the short time that we have, we want to be productive, you know. So that sort of also put pressure because you are trying to juggle so many things within the short time because you think, okay, you have to live work and life together, you know. So that affects the quality of work life. And that takes us to our next slide. What exactly is the quality of work life? If we say trying to balance work is not working, trying to integrate work into life is not working, and we are saying it affects the quality of life, then what is quality of life? You know, so a few definitions. Quality of life encompasses all aspects of our work and life, the physical, the mental, the economic, the social, you know, aspect of workplace. So when you want to check the quality of life, of a work life, you want to check the quality of all these things, you know. So from all this, we want to look at this work and life. What am I gaining from it? Does it lead to more satisfaction? You know, is it also good for my work-life balance? So I just picked a few definitions to help us understand what quality of life should look like, or what we can call quality of life, you know. A few experts have defined what quality of life is. So there's Bernardian and Russell 1993. They defined quality of life as the degree to which individuals are satisfied, the degree at which individuals are able to satisfy their important personal needs. You know, you are working, yeah, but you also have personal needs. So if you are working and you cannot satisfy those personal needs, it affects your quality of work life. But the one that I particularly like is the one for Lao 2000. So it describes quality of work life as a favorable working condition that supports and promotes satisfaction by providing employees with rewards, job security, and career growth opportunities. And at the end of the day, that's what makes us feel fulfilled. So if we have all this, if we have job security, we have good reward, there's career growth, we feel fulfilled, and we can say we have good quality of work life. You guys will agree with me that from this definition, we can only conclude that the degree of work life qualifies influence on one's work-life balance. That the quality of influence that your work life has on your work-life balance is we can call that you have a good work life. So now, when I started, I said the baby boomers started talking about work-life balance, it didn't work. The Gen X started talking about work-life integration, it didn't work. You know, why is it not working for the modern day workforce? And now we're talking about work-life harmony. Even though it's not a concept that is out there yet, but a lot of experts are beginning to look at it. A lot of us that are interested in our workplace wellness, we're beginning to look at, okay, work and life, you can't really have a balance. You cannot say you have closed by 8. And it's not like it's every day. There are times that some emergencies will come up, you're working on some project. There's no how you're going to, somehow, work will always encroach into life. So there's really no balance. So when we try to say we want to have a balance, we put pressure on ourselves, because like you're struggling with yourself and some kind of principles and some um approaches you want to use to achieve this balance. Okay, fine. That led us to work-life integration. Work-life integration, we have also said is not working. And there are researches that have shown this as well. So now, why is it not working for the modern day workforce? That's what we're going to look at. And that's what's taking us to work-life harmony. Because we're beginning to say, okay, if you cannot balance work and life, and work-life integration is also not possible, you should be able to create harmony so that there's no chaos in your life between work and life. You should be able to harmonize it, you know. So that takes me to the screen we are seeing now. So I would like us to, if you have your device with you, you can actually scan the QR code, or you log on to the link below, the https menti.com. So it's just an opinion sample to confirm that when researchers have shown that work-life balance is not working, we are also going to test this live just on this seminar to see that, okay, is work-life balance really working? So it's just one question to answer your quality of work life so that we sort of test what we are saying. So that it's not like we're just here talking what we don't know. So if you can see my screen, or you can see the menti.com, I would like you to either scan the QR code or log on to the link. I also like to see your reactions in the chat group to see that we're okay. I could also post it in the chat group for us to click on it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. I'm going to share the screen for us to see our poll as we answer the questions, while I also post it on the chat group for us to click on. You could either use your phone to scan the QR code or click on the link. Okay, so I'm sharing the link to the screen to our vote now. Okay, so I can see the votes have started. So on a scale of 1 to 10, we are testing to see that, okay, how satisfied are you with juggling work and life currently? Okay, I can see that we have 6 people already voted that they're very satisfied. That means your workplace must be super, super good. Yeah, 4 people somewhat satisfied, 1 person not satisfied. We are about 28 on this call. Can we have more people, please? Okay, Fumilola somewhat satisfied. Fumilola, is it that you cannot take the poll? Because it would have been nice for us to display this result. Okay, yes, I'm going to post the link now. I'm actually trying to retrieve the link. I'm going to post it now. One minute, please. The link is coming to the chat group soon, so that we don't waste so much time on this. Okay, so I've just sent the link to the chat group. Okay, I'm sure we can see the life result. We can see that the number of people that are not satisfied with how they juggle work and life personally. Um, um, the reason why I want us to test this is for us to see that we are not just talking that is not working. The reality is people struggle to balance work and life. The demand of work and the demand of life sometimes can be overwhelming. Sometimes work can make you cancel some personal things, that are related to life because you have work to attend to, you know. So basically, that's what this has helped us to do. So I'm going to be displaying the results for us to see that, okay, um, I'm, I'm displaying the results so that we can see that what we have been saying is not just out of the ordinary. It is the reality we have at hand. So we have 11 participants that have taken our poll. 9 people seem to be very satisfied. So we have 5 people somewhat satisfied. And just one person says not satisfied. So that also tells us that if work-life balance was really true, we'll have everybody on this call, or everybody that's taking this poll, we'll have them say they're satisfied with their work-life balance, you know. So that's just the whole essence of this uh this poll. It's just for us to test what we are saying, to see that we are not just saying that work-life balance is not working, or work-life balance or work-life integration is not working. Now we have to talk about work-life balance. It is the reality before us. The reality before us is that we have to look for how to harmonize work and life. Okay, so we'll continue with our slides. So now, in the era of work-life integration, we have said manage people are pressured, with results because we want to do everything at the same time. You want to attend to your company WhatsApp group. You want to attend to employee engagement. For those of us in HR, you have this task you have to finish. You could not finish with your 9 to 5, and you think, oh, there's technology. You can also do it on the go. And people are also getting stressed out by doing that. So we are pressured to deliver results, which of course affects our well-being. Is like a price we pay. Our well-being is like the price we pay for it to deliver this result. And some HR experts have actually looked at why work-life balance, work-life integration, why it's not working. So an HR expert, Jason Lauriston, posted that work is defined by relationships rather than contracts. Employees in the modern workforce, they want to work in a safe environment where they are trusted to get the work done and are measured on contribution instead of the hours put to work or where it got done. So again, that takes us to the concept of remote work that took over everywhere during the pandemic and post-pandemic. So we have now realized that instead of waking up, entering Lagos traffic, you have to go and deliver. There are times that the time you waste in Lagos traffic is enough for you to finish certain jobs. So workplace now started having to look at, okay, how do they help their employees or their people? How do they help their people manage work and life? So HR experts have posted that it is better you just focus on results. And people want to work in a place where they feel safe, like a safe environment. They are trusted to get the job done. Their job is measured based on the contribution and not on the hours. Some people can sit 8 to 5 on the desk and not deliver anything. So how can employees approach their relationship with work and life priorities in more realistic way? Because trying everything seems not to work. And still, we cannot divorce work and life. So this is where work-life harmony comes in. Now, like I did say, I had to do look at a few statistics about work-life harmony, work-life integration, and all. So a report published by American Psychological Association shows that workers with work-life balance have lower stress level and improved mental health. Yes, if my work is not stressing me, if I'm able to cope with work and life at the same time, for Christ's sake, I'm going to be mentally all right. We will not have the issue of mental wellness and mental health that we're talking about now. Also, in a survey done in the United Kingdom, almost 89% of job candidates consider flexible working options important when scrutinizing job offers. So gone are the days where we're just looking for jobs and we just want to do anything. These days we now look out for how toxic the place is. We now look out for the total reward system. We now look out for our well-being, because at the end of the day, it is when we're aware that we can work. Again, another statistics I got according to EY Global Generation Research, 76% of workers state that they struggle with work-life balance, which is a reality. The reality is we struggle to balance work and life, whether we want to accept it or not. Even if we have a great place to work, sometimes there are personal things that work will encroach into. We cannot deny that. And according to Gallup, 60% of workers view their work-life balance as an important factor in their job decision, which is true. I want to be able to know that if I am going to work for an organization, the organization is not going to demand my blood or it's not going to demand my neck, you know. So if I am going to be taking an offer, if I'm looking for a job and if I'm going to be working somewhere, those are the things I'll check, that okay, this place. And like we can all see on our platforms and you see that somebody gets a job and they come, please, you know these people, and that's it. Gone are the days where it is only employers that do background check. Even employees now do background check before joining any organization. So again, according to Harvard Business School, companies that enforce the work-life balance program had 25% deduction in employee salary. Another one is the employees who maintain a proper work-life balance are around 21% more productive than those who don't, which is like when you're tired, you're stressed out, there's a lot on your mind. Even physically, if you're tired, you cannot deliver on your job. Again, and the last one is the one from Deloitte. 94% of managers and 88% of workers state a diverse work-life balance internal to job commitment. So if you want job commitment, you want your people to be committed to your cause, because at the end of the day, like I always say, a business, the owner of the business have a vision, you know. If you don't have people that are committed to, you cannot deliver on the vision, because you cannot deliver your vision alone. You need people to be there. So this Deloitte research shows that managers and workers that have a diverse work-life balance, they are able to commit to their jobs more. So that's just for us to get background knowledge and to show that statistics have proven these things. We're not just here saying, okay, people struggle with work-life balance. Apart from the fact that we experience it, apart from the fact that we know it is a reality, there are researches that has been done to show and to prove that yes, these things actually exist. Okay, now to the big elephants in the room tonight, because we're talking about work-life balance and strategies to maintain balance. So what is work-life harmony? I always like my sessions to be interactive. If you hear work-life harmony, or if you have come across work-life harmony, what exactly is work-life harmony? I'd like you to just drop a few chats, a few response, so that we know that we are together. So what is work-life harmony? If Even if you've not really had extensive knowledge of work-life harmony, looking at it, what to you is work-life harmony? I'm looking at the chat room because I want to be sure that I'm not talking to myself. Hello, Glory Umeze. Hi. No, you can just put it in the chat box. You can just put it in the chat box. So at the end of the presentation, you can would let anybody that has one or two things to add, because we're all here to learn. I'm facilitating, yes. I'm also a learner. So at the end of the presentation, we'll take one or two people that are willing to add, subtract, delete, whatever. So I was hoping I'll get one or two person tell me, oh, okay, Ogundalu, yes. It's simply where, wow, okay, simply where one's work satisfaction is directly making one happy and fulfilled. Yes. Being able to strike a good correspondence. Ubaka said, being able to strike a good corresponding balance between life, between work and life out of work. Okay. Yes. Work-life harmony from my point of view, that's Glory Mess, is the ability to have balance in both our several sections of life without it affecting our work or career. Nice one, nice one. I love this one, Dolu. A peaceful relationship between work and living, family, business, life. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Adedigba says balancing work and life. Wow. Olawale Nelson, harmonious work and life situation. Great. So I'm sure from your definitions or from your input, we are seeing that, yeah, even if we cannot achieve work-life balance, we can learn how to harmonize them. We can let them, you know, coexist. Yeah, that's the word. Yes, Fumilola says work-life harmony means balance between work and your personal life. Esther says, I think work-life harmony means making both work effectively at the same time. Okay, so Damilola says ability to integrate your job and personal life. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. It's good to know that I am not here alone. That's what I just wanted to test. I wanted to test that, okay, all this my talking, talking, talking. I'm not talking to myself. Thank you. Okay, so that takes me to what work-life harmony is. So unlike how work-life balance focuses on how time is used, and work-life integration prioritizes what gets done with time, work-life harmony values the why behind the time spent. I will take that again. Work-life balance focuses on how time is used. So we set boundaries. Okay, my job is 8 to 5, anything from 5 to family time, you know, and that sort of makes us rigid and sort of puts some strain on us. So there are times that things come up and we feel that this work is encroaching into family time, or this work is encroaching into a time zone that is not for it. So that sort of makes us uneasy. It could affect our emotions. That sort of makes us angry. That why is this Oga calling me by this time? Does he not know I've closed? You know. And some people are so rigid that they say work time is work time, family time is family time, and that sort of creates some sort of friction in the relationship they have with either their bosses or co-workers that needed them to do something at that time. That's because of the approach. Now, work-life integration, okay, I looked at, okay, considering these frictions we're talking about in work-life balance, and considering the fact that sometimes our decision to say work time is work time, lifetime, family time is family time, sort of create some workplace friction. We have now looked at, okay, how do we integrate work-life balance into work, and how do we integrate work and life? So work-life integration prioritize what gets done with what time. That again is stressful because we are under pressure. Let's say, for example, you have XYZ to be done between 2 to 5. But time is getting to the time and you have not even finished X, let alone the YZ. You start palpitating. You start getting worried that, hey, this is what I said to achieve. So that sort of puts some pressure on us again. Meanwhile, work-life harmony values the why behind the times you spend. So you're not under pressure to say, okay, because this is what you have set to do, that's why you're. So why are you spending that time that you are spending? Is what work-life harmony is talking about. So harmonization is achieved when employees are viewed as a whole person with congruent interwoven roles. In more simple terms, work-life harmony occurs when the different aspects of an employee's life coexist. They fuel one another and foster positive energy. Not that you are doing something grudgingly, not that you are doing this thing because why? Either because you know that your team has to deliver on this. You are doing this thing because you don't want it to stress you. So that takes us to the why of work-life harmony. For example, I would want to clear everything I need to clear today so that I don't take it into tomorrow's task and then I get overwhelmed. I don't know if you get the concept. So why am I trying to finish what I'm doing today is what work-life harmony is talking about. The time I'm spending doing what I want to try and finish it, why am I doing it? So the reason why I am doing it energizes me, does not frustrate me, doesn't stress me. Not that I am forced to do it because, oh, this I must finish this thing by this time because this is the time I've set to achieve it so that I can balance work and I can face work, you know. So just like musical notes can play simultaneously to create a beautiful sound, chords or progression, work life can be harmonious. I'll take this again. In music, there are different strings and different tones that put together to give us the beautiful sounds that we like. So that is how we should view work and life, basically. So um, work and life can be that harmonious and create a beautiful memory and create a beautiful sound for us. So I particularly like this quote because it's sort of a reminder of how work should feel. So Padmasi Warrior says, I don't like the word balance. I personally do not like the word balance. To me, that somehow conjures up conflict between work and family because it's like you have created, it's just like you have two children. You have said you're having two apples. You're having two apples. And at the end of the day, one is having one and a half apple, and the other one is having two apples. It's like you're creating conflict already. So when you talk work-life balance, it creates conflict already. As long as we think of these things as conflicting, we will never have happiness. True happiness comes from integration of work, family, self, and community. So this quote, I just had to put that there. Okay, so I've been talking work-life balance, work-life integration, work-life harmony. We want to take a look at it. What is the difference between them? Why are they different? And why are we talking work-life harmony now? So let's just take a few look at work-life balance. So work-life balance keeps personal life and home life separate. Like I said, you do your 9 to 5 and you're like, yes, 9 to 5, work has closed. Anything about work, everything about work, back where, stay one side. Time for family life, you know. Another one is that it assumes, okay, I've said that it assumes a structured 9 to 5 day. Result is a transactional mindset of competing priorities. Yes, it's transactional because if this time is set for work, this time is set for this thing. For us to now encroach into that, there has to be a transaction. It depletes energy because you are stretched out. I remember pre-COVID when I have closed and you want to schedule a meeting after work, that time I'm already trying to either fix dinner or trying to sort out something in the house. You just get angry, you just get frustrated. And at the end of the day, you're tired, but you don't have a choice but to join the meeting. So what we are preaching is instead of letting these things frustrate you, we just have a way of striking the balance so that they coexist together. It limits well-being to non-working hours, you know. So that takes us to okay, what now is work-life integration? We have looked at work-life balance, you know. So work-life integration blends personal life and home life. You are able to integrate it together. Thank God to technology. Even while you are at home, you are still able to attend to work. It focuses on outcomes and the quality of output. It results is a transactional mindset of having to do it all. It also depletes energy. It focuses a choice between work and well-being. Now, work-life harmony, because this is what we are now. We have moved from work-life balance. We have moved from work-life integration to work-life harmony. So now we're saying work-life balance. Work-life harmony. Work-life harmony leverages personal life and work life as mutual sources of positive energy. It promotes positive well-being in all aspects of life. Results is a transformational mindset. Remember, work-life balance is transactional. Work-life integration is transactional. We are saying work-life harmony is transformational. It gives you a transformational mindset and a positive forward momentum. It fuels energy and purpose because why? What we're saying about work-life balance is we're saying look at the why of why you are doing what you're doing.
Irene, you should close the door now.
Sorry?
Maybe you should close the door. The voices are becoming more pronounced.
Oh, okay.
You can hear.
So, okay, so I'm going to continue. So, like I said, work-life harmony fuels energy and purpose. Remember, in work-life balance and work-life integration, we say it depletes energy because of the restrictions and the timelines that you have set. So when one is approaching into one, you sort of get angry and get frustrated, and that sort of affects your energy. But in work-life harmony, because of the mindset you have put that, okay, you're going to harmonize work and life, it fuels energy and purpose. Because remember, when I was talking about work-life harmony, the reason for work-life harmony, you're looking at why are you doing this? And sometimes, it's not even sometimes, oftentimes, when we need energy to move forward, when we remember our why, it sort of fuels our energy naturally in life. Why am I doing what am I doing? Why am I involved in this? So even when we want to retreat or when we want to get tired, once we remember our why, it sort of gives us the energy that we need. So and the last one is the message total well-being into all life experience. Okay, so now that we have looked at the differences between work-life balance, work-life integration, and work-life harmony. What are the benefits of work-life harmony? One is it boosts our mental health because the balance aids in negative processing for uh, better decision making. When we don't feel negative about what we want to do, we are not getting upset about it in the first place. It doesn't even affect our mental health, holistic health, stress reduction, success without um, sacrifice. You don't feel like you've sacrificed anything, you're achieving results. It's not like you're not sacrificing anything, but because you are not dwelling on, because your mind is not there, you already believe that okay, manage these two, skill diversity, productivity surge, mindful living. Those are some of the benefits. So now, when we say work-life harmony fuels energy and purpose, how does it fuel energy and purpose? Somebody might want to ask, how does it fuel energy and purpose? It fuels energy and purpose by aligning your work with your values. It enables a life that feels good and fills your cup instead of balancing or integrating. The little to do's and big initiatives work together to build something bigger and better, because again, it takes us to why are you doing what you are doing? It promotes well-being in all aspects of life. Again, somebody will want to ask me, how does it promote well-being in all aspects of life? Because it helps you eliminate stress of maximizing time and choosing to focus on the big picture, which will allow you to prioritize your well-being and redefine activities based on why or who you are deciding to do it for. Again, it leverages on personal life and work life as mutual source of positive energy. By being intentional about your energy and where you invest it in, it will make your life richer. Whether you are at home or at the office, your energy is a force that can turn up or scale down, but you can manage it so it's not depleted. You basically, it's a way of just knowing that this thing has to be done and finding that okay, you can't separate them; they have to exist together. Is I call it facing the reality. So putting yourself under pressure that oh, you want to uh, balance work or you want to integrate work, just know that they have to exist together. So you sort of do what you have to without letting it affecting your emotions, you know. So and again, why is result transformational? Why is the result a transformational mindset and a forward momentum? Because you enjoy the journey. It means focusing on the small task or moments of growth each day instead of the finish line. So with work-life balance, because we have said, okay, this has to be finished so that we can face family. We are under pressure. But with work-life harmony, you know that like they used to say, work will be finished. So you know that well, they both have to. You just do the most important that has to be delivered, and you move on and you continue like that. You know. So instead of focusing on the finishing line, you are celebrating your small wins. You're focusing on the task that you're able to complete at the moment. And this fuels and propels you forward. Energy is powerful, resilient and critical to innovation. It is the sort of energy around you that gives you the strength to go on, that gives you the strength to be resilient. You know, it is important to remember that in order to create work-life harmony and reap the benefits, psychological safety between an employee, between employee and their employer is very important. So, fostering work-life harmony. How do we foster work-life harmony? One, we orchestrate intention. So how do we orchestrate intention? You want to look at your culture. How is your workplace culture like? Does your culture enables you to take time for employee well-being? Organizational culture is the single most important factor in determining an organization's success or failure. That's just the truth. Whether your organization is going to succeed or not, whether you're going to have people join your organization and before you finish onboarding, they're already getting out. It's the culture that is going to determine it. So to foster work-life harmony, you have to work with leadership to integrate well-being into the process and prioritize diversity, equity, and belonging norms and policies. Yes, we know that these things, we just say them, they seem to appear on papers, but we keep trying to implement them. And that's why we're discussing this as HR people. We know that, especially for those in OMBs, like owner managed business, we know that it may be difficult, to initiate these things. But it's good that you know them. Try to initiate them. And if you cannot at least do them in OMBs, and then some OMBs are a great place to work. Some OMBs will give you the opportunity to implement these things. But then it is good to know that this is it, so that if you have the opportunity, then you can implement them, you know. So by when you want to foster work-life harmony, you start with the leadership. You have to sort of get leadership buy-in. It's a culture thing. So the culture of the organization has to imbibe or has to, embrace DIB norms and policies. Then you have to build an environment for well-being. I mean, people should feel safe and well when they come to work. Because well-being improvements enabled by company resources and consistently reinforced by leaders, they sort of have a way of uh, making people feel their work does not affect their life. You know, when I am happy to come to work, I am happy that I'm resuming in this organization today. It's not going to have any negative effect on me. Because at the end of the day, why we are working is because we want to have a good life. But we have seen situations where the work self is almost taking the life that we want to have a good life. You get. So here are some more examples of how to orchestrate our intention in fostering work-life harmony. So I have one, support for on-site, hybrid, or remote workers, because the reality is we have these categories of workers now. Some organizations are still fully on-site, some are hybrid, while some are fully remote. So how do you orchestrate how do you foster work-life harmony for employees that are on-site, hybrid, or remote? So you want to provide them with tools they need for their work environment. So if they're on-site, they should have all the tools, not that they have come to work and they are stressed out, they don't even have the tools to work, you know. You also want to incorporate leader sponsored activities into your well-being program. So the team leads should be able to, you should have the support they need or the sponsor they need to sort of create an enabling environment for their subordinates or their line. For example, a line manager should have the support he needs to create well-being for his own unit, because at the end of the day, HR cannot be everywhere. We're talking about we're talking about creating an enabling workforce. So you have to enable the team leaders to help you create this enabling workforce, because they're the one at the end of the day that interact with the workforce more. You are just more like a custodian or a supervisor of the whole process. So we could also have team leaders post videos sharing key company goals, updates, and their personal well-being journey. It could also be encouraging when you have managers, team leads, or line managers, when you have seniors showing the the people, their subordinates or their colleagues that they are supervising, how they are being intentional about their own well-being journey. You sort of encourage them, you know, to also want to practice well-being. So we also say another way to foster work-life harmony is to energize managers. So does your culture equip managers to be role models for well-being improvement? You want to look at that. Managers have been found to be, that's what I just said, one of the strongest drivers of employee well-being and engagement. Because in the first place, if you introduce a well-being program as an HR, yes, you can introduce it. But what if the manager does not even give the subordinate the time needed or to rest or something? Like, okay, we say for those that are doing remote work, find time to do short breaks, get up from your seat, even if it's, what if they have this manager that is on their neck and will not let them do that? So it is important to educate managers, empower them, enlighten them on well-being programs so that they can drive the engagement among their teams. So managers have an important responsibility for the experience employees have at work. That's the truth. We have policies, we have procedures, but how an employee feels at the end of the day depends on how the manager treats them or how the manager handles them. So if the manager is not a team leader, or if the manager is somebody that doesn't listen, or the manager doesn't have the skill to lead, it affects the team at the end of the day. So it is critical that they have the tools to support employees' work-life harmony. So focus on managers and give them the support to drive engagement, collaboration, and well-being in their employees. So I'm going to give examples of how to energize our managers. For example, we could include quarterly managers challenge that provide clear strategies to assist managers in promoting well-being activities. It could be just create something, think out of the box, make managers, because when managers are the one leading these things, it sort of reduces tension. There's no tension of, hey, Oga, they come, hey, Oga. When they see that even Oga is doing this well-being thing, they'll know that it's serious business. Another thing is you could survey managers to understand what support they need for their department. Okay, we're talking about well-being. What have you noticed in your department? What support? What do you think we can bring up to support the well-being of those in your department? Because you have to work with stakeholders in creating these things. You can't just know it all. You can't just think, oh, this program is what will work. So it's when you discuss with stakeholders that you can now tailor whatever solution or whatever initiative to their needs. You can create a manager's toolkit with key information and resources designed to support their team. So, okay, you have a survey already. You know the kind of things that their team lack, or you know the kind of um, trainings they would like their team to have, or the kind of engagement they would like to drive in their team. So you can now create a resource like a toolkit for them that has the resources and the information they need to drive these initiatives. So the third one is to personalize communication. Oftentimes, when communication is personalized, it reduces ambiguity. It creates this harmony where nobody is scared of talking. Now, there's a thin line between people are scared of talking and disrespect. We're not saying there should be disrespect, but when communication is personalized, there's this connection in the workplace. It removes friction, you know. So you want to you want to check if your culture prioritizes well-being communication or have a channel for listening. Can people speak up? Can people tell you this is the problem they are having? You know, can people tell you that look, they are facing this, or can people say they want this? So when information flows freely, employees feel valued. They feel that yes, their voice, they matter, their voice is being heard. You know, they have a higher well-being and are more engaged. One size does not fit all in this case, actually. These are just examples. We could come up with different ideas of fostering work-life harmony with respect to our sector, our industry, our organization, because some organizations, even when you come up with initiative, you are not able to implement them. So you have to find what works for your organization. Basically, what we're advocating is workplace should not take work life should happen harmoniously. Work should not take life. So you want to prioritize an effective method of communicating and listening that resonates with employees. I have a few examples here. So you want to encourage creativity and support teams with upcoming events and webinars for their specific needs and resources. Yes, the teams should be encouraged to have, okay, like I once worked somewhere where once in a week the team has knowledge sharing session, you know. So regardless of whether you are senior, you are junior, you are mid-level, everybody comes together on a Thursday and everybody sharing knowledge. And it was fun. So that kind of thing could happen. So it sort of creates connection between employees. So it also another example is to enable wellness champions with writer permissions for articles or posts to encourage workplace wellness. Like somebody like me, I'm a wellness champion. So if you identify people in the workforce that are wellness champions, you could give them the writing right to either write articles, things about well-being that you could share either on your website, on your Slack group, on your WhatsApp group, or whatever platform um, your organization uses, your notice board, something that is captivating that can encourage people to take their wellness serious. There are people that actually, if you pay attention to them, they like champion these kind of things in the workplace. You can bring those people together and give them the rights to write articles to encourage their colleagues. You could also conduct surveys to understand what is going well and what additional support and resources that employees need. So in an organization, there must be something that is going well, and there must be something that is lacking. So it's good to conduct a survey once in a while for you to check that, okay, what's going on well here, so that you know what other initiative or what else to improve on. And so, lastly, you want to look at how to cultivate connection. So does your culture, your organizational culture, does it encourage social connection between employees? Connection to others and having support for co-workers help cultivate a sense of belonging, which is highly influential to overall well-being. Because if I come to work, like I always say, an average adult spend the better part of their daily life at work. So at that work, I should be able to connect. I should be able to know that, okay, this time I'm spending at work is not affecting my life. The people I'm spending it, I, I know we could have annoying colleagues, but if you look beyond their personality and you look at, again, that's why work-life harmony looks at your why. I look at why you're at work and why you're working with them. You're able to overlook whatever will irritate you or whatever will make you not to connect. So you just connect at work level, and everybody is fine. So as HR people, we want to ensure that um, we connect employees to foster a sense of support and belonging, which will also personalize their experience. So how do we cultivate connection? Again, I have a few examples here. So you want to highlight a different employee resource each month to raise awareness and encourage employees to join. So every month you want to look at, okay, it could be a blog, it could be an article, it could be something, but every month just create new things, about well-being for people to look forward to. So everybody's like, okay, what are we going to do this month? Everybody's eager and looking forward to it. It's sort of like creating a great place to work, really. Then another one is bringing employees together in a safe place where conversation can flow freely. Everyone can feel comfortable sharing their experience. So this could happen quarterly, just a relaxed environment, a relaxed mode. Let everybody just feel free, share encouraging talks, share experiences. Because sometimes people bottle up a lot. So when you create this kind of avenue where they can talk, where they can express themselves, they sort of feel there's this heaviness that's lifted from them and they feel like, oh, it's not just about the work they want to do. The organization cares about their life, because at the end of the day, it is somebody that is alive that's going to work. So we have to constantly show that. We have to constantly create a workplace that shows the employees that we value them. It's not just that come and work. We value your life, you know. Again, I also have, you could encourage managers and leaders to regularly send cheers to their team to celebrate and highlight their achievement. It's not too much to ask for. Even if it's just a thumbs up, even if it's just a pat on the back, small, small achievements when celebrated, especially when it's coming from the manager or the team lead, it means a lot. It means a lot. Even those that were not that were laid back, they'll be encouraged to do more because they also want to be celebrated. That's the truth. We like to be celebrated as human beings. We like to say that we're making progress, you know. So when those small, small achievements are celebrated, it also boosts a sense of belonging, you know. And the only way to enjoy work-life harmony is when you have this organizational citizenship mindset where you say that you're not just a worker. We know that we say family is not work, work is not family. But sometimes when you have this sense of belongingness, you see yourself as not just coming to this place to work. There's a connection, you know. You could create a weekend challenge for employees, let them share their ideas. What are they doing this weekend? I remember I used to have something in one of my workplace where on a Saturday on the group, we ask you to share what's your routine for this Saturday. Some will share their swimming, some will share they're taking a walk, some will share they're taking, and everybody laughs and jabs at it. And, you know, it creates a sort of connection. So, all I've been saying now, I'll be concluding. Work-life harmony is essential for both companies and employees. Basically, that's all we've been saying. It's not just companies that are going to foster work-life harmony. It is essential for both. The company needs to encourage work-life harmony by creating a healthy working culture. And the employees, on the other hand, when they enjoy a healthy working culture, the company and it's a win-win situation. So it allows for boosting employee retention by enabling healthy well-being and enhanced productivity across the organization. Better work-life harmony helps reduces employee stress, enhances satisfaction, and along with retaining top talent for companies. Because sometimes you see top talent just hop and go. Why? Because anybody can poach them because these guys are flyers. And if your company is stressing them, you just say that they up and go. So it's very important that we encourage work-life harmony in our workplace by creating an enabling environment. This is not just uh, us saying it. There are researches and reports that have shown that employees prefer work-life balance against any other factor. Because if I cannot, my work and life cannot coexist. One has to give, and my life will not give, you know. So basically, it's work that will give, you know. So what we're talking about is a paradigm shift towards harmonization and well-being. That is how work is designed. We must include all interaction and behaviors that employees engage in throughout workday, especially communication and connection. Because if I come to work and I cannot communicate and connect, it's going to lead to burnout and frustration. Very importantly, we must ensure that communication and connection, we pay critical attention to it and create initiatives or ideas or drive um, communication and connection. While probably everyone realizes the importance of maintaining an equilibrium between work and personal life, which is true, we know that we need to maintain uh, a balance, an equilibrium. They have to coexist. In theory, we know that in theory, but statistics have shown that not many manage it in practice. All these things I've been saying here, we know that they exist. We know that we should do this. We know that, we should create a working culture for well-being. There are statistics everywhere. There are researches everywhere. There are advocates of these things everywhere that look, make work life easy, make work life enjoyable for people. They seem to be just theory, which is why we keep talking, which is why we keep having these kind of seminars, so that we can see what we can change. Statistics have shown that, yes, these things are there. It's not like we don't know, but in practice, we don't practice them. Now, I also understand why we may not be able to practice them in some aspects, because one, if the management does not support what your initiative, there's really nothing you can do at the end of the day but to keep pushing and trying to see how you achieve this. But what we're advocating for basically, or why we're having this conversation, is so that we are equipped and we are knowledgeable to know, we can educate others, and we never can tell. one person at a time. We can begin to change the narrative. So both employers and workers need to take specific steps to ensure a better work-life harmony, which will ultimately deliver outcomes benefiting both sides. Like I did say, when there's work-life harmony, both sides are benefiting. It's a win-win. When your employees are healthy and happy, the result is exceptional. So the examples in this presentation, they foster a healthy relationship between employees and their employer, which builds trust and transparency that is mutually beneficial. Thank you, everyone. So we have come to the end of our slide. So I'll be taking questions, contributions, answers. What do I need to learn? If you have anything you want to add, what do you want to what just raise your hand and we're going to have to just yes, the glory room is so true. A lively atmosphere, yes, not just work, work, work every time. Yes, that's in fostering work-life harmony. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Okay, glory room, you have your hand up. Okay, so you can unmute, please. You can unmute. Let's have your contribution. Bless you too, Deborah. Thank you. Priska, thank you, thank you. Glory room, it's like you want to say something. You have your hand up in the chat room. You want to add something? If you want to, you're free to unmute.
Hi.
Let's.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It was on, so I couldn't unmute myself. I was just unmuted now. Good evening,
Okay.
everyone. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right. So, Mark, you said something regarding true balance, being that we don't have to see our work life and our personal life like two distant houses. I know you made an example of two houses, kind of, that we have to have a change in mindset. That's the way we'll be able to optimize ourselves and our productivity. So can you just give like a practical example? Because sometimes what if I'm not in the mood to be in that mindset? What am I going to do? Because there are times like that I'm depleted in actual fact. So what am I going to do at those moments? Because
Okay.
okay, should I finish?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so even if I am trying to be in that mindset, what if I still have children that need my attention, and work is still calling? At that point, what mindset will I be able to put that will able to make my child stop crying? I don't know if you understand. I'm trying to look
Yeah, I
at
understand.
practical tips. Yes. So I'm trying to look at practical tips that can actually make it work for me. Thank you so much. I'm grateful.
Thank you. I understand perfectly with the picture you have painted. Like as I am on this webinar now, my son is running up and down. Like I've used my hand to drive him like how many times. So I understand you perfectly. I'm not saying we should not separate work and life. What I'm saying basically is try not to get frustrated with it. Try to have this mindset that you want to harmonize them. If you remember the example I gave in work-life balance, work-life balance, we have set the boundaries. We have said work ends at 5 and family life is at this. But the reality is we have work calling even after that. But because of the mindset that we have set it apart, you just get frustrated. You're going to do that thing grudgingly. I get frustrated. You will do it. The person that has given you the task is not feeling any pain. You're the one feeling angered. You're the one having bad energy. Do you understand? So basically, what we're advocating is try to understand that work and life they happen harmoniously. In the case of where your son, of course, work can wait for you to attend to your son. But what I'm saying is, even while you pacify your son, you can quickly come back to that. Not that, don't get frustrated, basically, because the frustration is real, you know. So if you dwell on, oh, this work again, you just sort of get yourself worked up and you get bad energy. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't know if that answers your question. Are we good? Omoni, why Benga, your hand is up, so you can unmute, please.
Yes, it did, ma. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. I enjoyed that session, and well, I was not disappointed.
You're sounding far from your device. I don't even know if it's only me. I can hardly hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it better now?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for the session.
You're welcome.
I really met the expectation. At least I expected much, and I met what I really expected. So that was wonderful. So transition from work-life balance to work-life integration to work-life harmony. Could you just state maybe one example that really, can explain better, maybe a real life scenario that explains better this transition, so that when someone like me who is an enthusiast, we understand better the picture of what work-life balance is all about, because I'm trying to picture many things on my head, but I'm trying to connect all of these three and see the differences. Thank you.
You're welcome. So do you have any more? So we can call it an evening. Do you have any more contributions? So that means I can say in the absence of no more contribution or no more question, it is good night from me. Mr. Liemi, I think we are done.
Thank you so much, Irene Obagu, for
You're
that
welcome.
excellent, seamless, flawless session. We also want to thank all the networks for their cooperation. Okay, ladies and
Yes,
gentlemen,
so
thank
and I
you
used
to
one
everyone
network
who
today,
joined this
amazing.
session at some point. We had quite to the very end. We are thankful and grateful. The recording will be uploaded tonight. Please, let's catch some rest. Tomorrow is another working day. Thank God, we've now learned work-life harmony. Thank you so much, Irene. Goodbye and God
Good
bless.
night, everyone.
Let's
Good night.
unmute now. Let's unmute now and thank and appreciate our
Thank you so
facilitator.
much.
We can unmute.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you so
staying.
much.
Thank you for sharing your
Thank
evening.
It was insightful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
you so much.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, and remember, approach work with work-life harmony mindset. Don't stress yourself. Don't get frustrated. Just find out to harmonize it.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.